So apparently there's a militant Vulcan faction like the Sirenites from the Enterprise episodes with T'Pau. But they're sort of the opposite of the Sirenites, because the Sirenites were against the militaristic culture that the Vulcans of the 2150s had adopted. These logic extremists, as they are called, want to get out of the Federation. I guess they don't subscribe to the Vulcan value of infinite diversity and infinite combinations. So one of them suicide bombs Sarek's ship as he is on his way to negotiate with the Klingons. Ash, Tyler, and Lorca are doing target practice in what appears to be a holodeck. I guess that's another thing that we're just supposed to assume was kept under wraps because Discovery is a top secret vessel. Michael is still psychically linked to Sarek, so when Sarek is incapacitated by the explosion, she has flashbacks of her rejection from the Vulcan Expeditionary Group. She understands that Sarek is in danger, and she asks Lorca to allow her to find Sarek, and Lorca sends Ash Tyler to pilot her shuttle. If Tyler really is Vok, you'd think this would be a perfect opportunity for him to kill the person who killed T'Kuvma, but Lorca warned him not to return without her. Stamets seemed pretty enthused about making a mind meld enhancing device to help them find Sarek. The spores seem to have changed his personality a bit. Maybe he got switched with a mirror universe version of himself. Maybe the more irritable, cantankerous Stamets that we're used to is in the mirror universe now, and he was switched with this happy, friendly Stamets. Sarek, for some reason, doesn't want Michael in his mind, so they have a bunch of Wachowski-esque fistfights. Also, apparently the incident in her childhood with the Klingons is not the only time that Sarek placed parts of his katra into Burnham's brain. The logic extremists bombed the school she went to as a child, and Sarek had to place part of his katra into her brain then too to revive her. So Burnham has to help Sarek work through this bad memory of his to wake him up. Then he can activate his ship's transponder and they can find him and rescue him. It turns out that the Vulcan Expeditionary Group wouldn't take more than one non-Vulcan, so they made Sarek choose between Burnham and his merely half-Vulcan son Spock. Sarek chooses Spock, but since Spock turned out to not even want to enter the Vulcan Expeditionary Group, he now regrets making the mistake that resulted in neither of his kids getting to join. This explains why Sarek acted like such a dick to Spock when he boarded the Enterprise in the episode Journey to Babel, and why they, until that point, hadn't spoken for 18 years. He wasn't just annoyed that Spock chose to enter Starfleet. Sarek was also embarrassed about his own bad decision. Admiral Cornwell comes aboard to yell at Lorca for conducting an unauthorized rescue mission. After Lorca gets startled and pulls a phaser on her, she says that she intends to relieve him of command. He's clearly too unhinged to be trusted with command of the Discovery. To get rid of her, he volunteers her to meet with the Klingons. And conveniently for Lorca, it turns out that the meeting was a trap and they take Cornwell hostage. Maybe Lorca will find out that Ash Tyler is really a Klingon and defect to their side, given that he isn't very friendly with Starfleet. He's starting to seem more and more like Garth of Izar in a lot of respects. Burnham opens up to Tyler about her frustration with Sarek and her internal conflicts. And it seems like she might be into him, which will be obvious trouble.